Sales of homes in the GTA were sluggish last month, to say the least, as home sales were down over the same period as compared to last year. A myriad of reasons are keeping home buyers on the sidelines and more vacant homes. So let's dig through the numbers this morning with Treb's chief market analyst, Jason Mercer. He joins us almost on a monthly basis here. Jason, did February come as any surprise to you based on the projection you'd been making for the year?
I don't think so. A couple of things. Number one, when we did our polling at the end of 2024, looking forward into 2025, one of the things we found is that there was a lot of would-be home buyers, people that have every intention on purchasing a home this year or in the years ahead. We're saying, look, we still need to see some relief on the interest rate front. Maybe it's 100, maybe it's 200 basis points, but we're not there yet. So that's point number one, that as we get towards the end of the spring, we're going to see a more affordable situation just in terms of borrowing costs. But then number two, there's been a lot more economic uncertainty, obviously, over the last couple of months. I mean, today we're talking about tariffs actually imposed, but we're also talking about the potential for a deal. And so people don't really know what's going on. And if you're thinking about having to make a large ticket purchase and be able to cover those mortgage payments over the long term, you want to have some certainty in terms of your labor situation, your income situation, what have you.
Yeah, nobody wants to be uncertain when they're making a purchase where you're committing yourself to thousands of dollars potentially a month when it comes to mortgage payments. Right. It seems pretty clear. BMO and RBC coming out yesterday with reports suggesting that the Bank of Canada is going to dramatically drop interest rates over the following cycle. That would sound like potentially good news, but in this, uncertain economic climate and environment with the tariffs and with what may happen to jobs in the economy, it is complicated here. But that wasn't necessarily known in February. But the numbers were down like 4.5%, 5%. That sounds like a pretty big drop year over year, though.
Yeah, I think, again, when, number one, there's a lot of people that say, look, I plan on purchasing a home in 2025. I know interest rates are going to be trending lower over the next few months. So they're taking a bit of a wait and see attitude, either just because they want to take on a lower rate as they make that home purchase, or they really do need that extra relief before they're willing to make an offer on a home. And then number two, if you're a little bit uncertain about where things are headed, then maybe you're going to put things on hold as well. I think the good news is that we will see the Bank of Canada take action over and above what we thought if the tariffs start to have a real effect on the economy. And there will be a tipping point where there's some people that say, look, I am comfortable in my economic and my job situation, even with the tariffs, and I'm going to move into the marketplace because I want to take advantage of these low borrowing costs. We saw it during COVID, for example, in 2020. Like there's a ton of uncertainty there, what was going to happen, and yet really low borrowing costs certainly did boost the housing market, and there's economic impacts, right? I mean, we got $70,000 worth of spin-off expenditures associated with every home purchase on average, and so it has a positive impact on the economy.
So we're likely to hear, or we will hear, from Tiff Macklem 1 week from today when the Bank of Canada makes its next interest rate adjustment or announcement. But there's also, we hear of, you've heard this term a million times, the spring market. Yeah. That's always what I hear from you. Oh, the spring market, that's when homes sell. Is that what you're expecting this year as well?
I mean, definitely every year you see this recurring trend where sales ramp up in the spring. And in a lot of cases, it's people listing their home and purchasing a home in anticipation of moving in before school starts. Right. Like that's a big driver of that spring market. And so certainly I would expect to see more sales in April, May, and June than we're seeing right now. Yeah. But I'd be saying that every year. I think the real comparison point is where we are relative to 2024. And that will really tell us, to what degree, tariffs have had an impact and to what degree we're starting to see the market pick up as a result of lower borrowing costs.
Yeah. And in terms of what is on the market now in terms of supply, how would you sort of elevate or sort of put that in perspective right now?
Yeah. Well, look at it. If I'm a buyer right now, number one, once I see lower borrowing costs and I feel that monthly mortgage payment is in line with my household finances, I'm actually going to benefit from a lot of choice right now. For example, if I was a renter looking to be a first-time buyer in 2025 and I want to buy a condominium apartment, there's a ton of choice out there right now. And so not only would you be taking advantage of lower borrowing costs, but you're going to be able to negotiate a pretty good deal on a condo in a lot of cases.
Absolutely. Okay, Jason Mercer, always appreciate your analysis of the market.
Much.
Thank you much.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Good to see you again.